Boom, boom, boom. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Learn, Plan, Profit, and DGAS just took a little bit of a dip. I am currently down. My average is 22.17. I'm going to talk to you guys about my entry points that I've taken for DGAS and kind of how that's working out and kind of go from there. So I'm going to close this out. I'm going to focus on my trades. I'm going to move this on over, and then I'm going to bring the live chat because I obviously forgot to do that. All right. Here we go. Boom. There we go. What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are all having a good morning. What's going on, Junie, Adriana? What's going on, Mikey, DJ TM, TJ Ebbs? What's going on, Midlife Crisis, Randall, Parrot, Bradley, Zachary? Good morning. What's going on, Eric, Lisa, Colin, Eric Schaefer? What's going on? Moob, boom, boom. I think you messed it up a little bit, but I like it. All right, we're back up a little bit. Nice. Good morning. Hope you guys are. What's going on, Peter, Oscar, Adrian, Christopher, Nerman, Lorenzo, Joe, I think Ozzy. What's going on? Morning. What's going on, Austin? Hope you guys are all having an amazing start to your Wednesday. I'm actually I'm pretty confident with the position that we took today. I'm gonna talk about like my last order literally just got filled, so we can check right here, and you guys could see that at 7:30:27, literally like right as I clicked the live, like my order got filled, and you guys could see where I got filled for my second position. And it was at around 22, right? 22.22. But if you look at my average purchase price, it's at 22.17. So you're like, well, Ricky, then where did you buy before, right? Well, what I started to see was, first of all, is why do I see value in DGAS? I see value in DGAS not only for maybe a day trade, but also for possibly a swing trade if I wanted to go that way. Depends on how it performs today. But if you guys look at this 20-day 1-hour chart, we've talked about this multiple times. And it's about the support that it has at around $22 and the resistance that it has at around $24. So with that understanding, we're able to identify a kind of like buy area and a sell area. That makes sense, right? It started approaching the $22 price point, and if you look at that 1-day 1-minute chart, it wasn't here where I saw a lot of value in it. I mean, it did bounce at around $22. That was kind of attractive, but it was when it started to catch up with the EMA line, and when it started to show signs of it getting rejected by the middle VWAP, pulling back, consolidating. And the thing that I found very attractive about this is that every time that it would pull back, it wouldn't go as low as it did before. So it was making higher lows. So that's showing signs of an uptrend pattern, right? Same thing with what's going on right now. It pulled back, at least for right now. It pulled back, but it didn't go as low necessarily as it went last time. So again, it made higher highs. It broke above the middle VWAP. It pulled back, which is expected, and it's consolidating, and then it's expected to continue to push right back up. So my initial position was actually at 22.11, and it was when it was starting to show signs of an uptrend, and it broke above the EMA. I took a 40% position, and the reason that I do that is because obviously I don't have a full-on confirmation that DGAS is starting to reverse back up, but it's starting to show signs of this curling pattern, and I found that to be very attractive. So because of that, I ended up buying when it pulled back a little bit and was able to get filled at 211 as it was already breaking above that EMA indicator, and this overall EMA was already starting to curl back up. So I took my initial position there with about 600 shares. It was about $13,000. That was my initial position. And then as it continued to show signs of an uptrend, it got rejected by the middle VWAP, pulled back. I loved it, right? It consolidated, made lower highs, higher lows, I apologize, and then it started to recover again, and it pushed up. I didn't necessarily care as it was pushing up because I knew that it was going to pull back again based on previous patterns. So it pushed up, I broke a little bit over $100 profit, pulled back, and now it's consolidating. And it was when it was pulling back that I saw some value in it. So right now it is getting rejected by that middle VWAP, but most importantly, the reason that I saw even more value in it was I got an alert that /NG broke below a certain price point. So I have multiple alerts set up right now. I have an alert set if it breaks below the SMA indicator. So, and this is going to be a little quiz for you guys. So Diaz, a swing trade or a day trade is he looking at? So Alex, I am mainly focusing on it as a day trade, but it depends on how it performs today. If I see that it is, aggressively making higher highs and it continues to show signs of an uptrend pattern, and I think that it has the potential, again, the opportunity cost, right, for a swing trade. So if we look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart, we could see that, it does have the potential to hit highs of like 23, 23, 25, maybe even $24 based on previous patterns. So that definitely makes sense, right? But I would like to, if we are going to be trading that way, then for me to be above the SMA indicator and showing signs of an uptrend. Because if we're not and it's still getting rejected by the SMA indicator, then I might consider the idea of covering profits. But it's just something that I'm going to follow up with. When it comes down to it, I have no issue covering profits. Yes, I might be focusing on something as a swing trade, but like you guys know multiple times, I can change my mind and I will lock in profits intraday if I see that there's any form of resistance or indication, any form of indication of a pullback, right? I also wanted to ask you guys real quick, what do you guys think about the audio? Does the audio sound different at all? Does it sound any better? So, are we going live? I think this guy needs to refresh his page. There's a little echo. You sound older. It's much better. It's fine. Sounds good. A little echo. What the heck? Okay. It sounds like you're not using a snowball. That's exactly what I'm using. I think these are called snowballs, right? I know you guys don't care, but yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't want to mess it up, but yeah, I'm using a snowball. Let me just make sure that it's still working. Boom, boom, boom. Ha, boom. Okay. Yeah, still working. So yeah, I'm using a little like snowball thing. Finally, only took 1.5 years of doing YouTube videos for finally using a snowball. Believe it or not, I've actually had this for over like 9 months, sitting right here on my desk. I just don't like using it. But yeah, I know it's horrible. But I wanted to talk to you guys about something. So what was I going to say? All right, so we are seeing a little bit of a pullback going on right here. Okay, so it was for /NG. I need your guys' help. So /NG is a natural gas future, right? So when UGAS goes up, or natural gas goes up, /NG goes up, right? So does UGAS, right? I'm seeing value, obviously, and I'm invested in DGAS. So I would want the opposite to happen to /NG. So that means that I would want to see a pullback, right? So what is it that is showing signs of an uptrend pattern? Where is it finding its support? Where is it normally bouncing at? Okay, so what is it that if it breaks below, that it would start to show signs of a confirmation of a downward pattern for /NG, which would be in favor of DGAS. I need your guys' help. What would that be? We need to be doing a little bit more of these because I need it to stick. So the EMA indicator. No, so the EMA indicator, I mean, it's broken below this EMA indicator, right? So it's pushed up to the top VWAP, and then it breaks below the EMA indicator, but then it bounces, right? And then it catches again. It breaks below, but then it bounces. So what is it? What indicator on the 1-day, 1-minute chart? Who's washing dishes? Swole Joel is washing dishes. You're good. I have a new microphone. But yeah, exactly. The SMA indicator. So this green line that you see right here, you see how it's been bouncing and holding very well above that? That's the pattern that I would like to see broken. I would like to see, yes, and that as well. Middle VWAP, right? Because it kind of goes hand in hand. If it breaks below the SMA indicator, we hope that it continues to break. Overall, SMA right now is acting as a support. What I would like to see is for the SMA to be acting as a resistance. Is that clear? Is that understandable? If I want DGAS to go up, then wouldn't it make sense for an overall reversal of pattern, an overall break of pattern to the bull ETF, right? So that is why I have my alert set here. right, for the break below the SMA indicator. But just in case, you know, it still needs a little bit more time for consolidation, I'm going to set my alert right here as well, just for an overall confirmation that, okay, not only did it break below the SMA indicator, but it's actively trending below, expecting a little bit more of a sell-off, right? It's, as of right now, it's making higher highs, and it's making lower highs as well. Very bullish patterns for /NG. That's good for you guys. I'm not in you guys. I don't want, you know, I want this thing to break its pattern. So usually what we would do is, before we take our full-on position, is we would wait for the overall confirmation, right? So I know when we looked at DGAS started showing signs of like an uptrend pattern. That's great and all, right? But it's also very important that if you're trading an ETF, to make sure that whatever future goes in correlation to that, you know, that you are also considering the idea of the overall pattern of that specific ETF as well. Does that future as well? All right. Let's see. And it's kind of just a waiting game right now, right? It's looking at the overall pattern, kind of like on this like 20-day 1 hour as well. You could see like, why is it that I even took a position on DGAS? Like, why? Like, is natural gas, if looking at /NG, again, I'm just trying to share everything it is that I can with you guys. When looking at /NG and looking at good buy points where it normally bounces at, looking at good sell points where it normally peaks out at when it's not such a good deal, right? Why is it that I went to go invest in DGAS as of right now? Does it make sense for natural gas to be more on the overbought side or more on the oversold side, right? Is this a good deal right now? Is natural gas, looking at previous price points, right? Looking at where it normally gets rejected, boom, 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 boom. Where it normally gets rejected, it does not mean 100% that it's going to. And again, that's the risk that I run by investing in something before the overall confirmation of a downward pattern. But based on previous patterns, I can look at and do an analysis and see like, well, based on previous patterns, this range of about $2.98 to $3 is normally where it peaks out at. So with that understanding, I can make the assumption that when it gets within this range, it's more of a sell territory than buy territory. Does that make sense? And when everyone always asks, how do you know when something is a good buy or a good sell? It's understanding this pattern. If it's a time that it normally gets, you know, if it normally bounces at this specific area or if it normally peaks out at this specific area. So if this were to be reversed, because that would kind of be the pattern of DGAS, right? Wouldn't it make more sense that when it gets around $2.98 to $3, that if this was reversed for DGAS, that this would be a better buy because this is where it normally bounces at? I wish I could do that for you guys right now, just so it could make sense. But I mean, we can look at the overall pattern for DGAS, and then it would make sense, right? What do you know, right? Again, where it normally bounces at and where it normally peaks out at. When's the range of where it's normally a good buy? Where's the range of where it's normally a good sell? Make sense? Okay, perfect. We are up 43.50. We have some Keynes money today. But yeah. Later, brother. Drive safe. Joel just got a new single turbo BM. Oh, I think I said it yesterday. Yeah. All right. What the? Wow. FRAC shot up. I did not get the alert for this. Dingleberry. That's nice. That's really nice. Congrats to all those. Cosmo says, never hurts to remind him. Wear your seatbelt. Yes, I agree. Joel's like the craziest driver. All right. All right. So congratulations to all those that invested in DGAS. I still consider it more at a, so what would I make out of this? So on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, you can see that it's definitely looking like it's more on the overbought side. I personally think, just based on previous patterns, looking at this 180-day analysis, 100%, we did an amazing job calling out this reversal. 100%. Can't be more proud of all of us, right? With that being said, do I think that just because it broke above here that it's just going to shoot up? No, I think that it's going to take some time for it to catch traction and then for it to really start to recover. So don't force your entry. What I would hate to happen is that for some of you that you go in investing in, the 14 to 14.27, even like the 14.27, and then it pulls back to like 14 or maybe even 13.70 as it catches this SMA line, and then you end up just having to cut losses, and then you sell at the very bottom. Be patient. Make sure that you focus on getting a good deal, and make sure that you understand what it is that you're doing. Are you doing something for a day trade? Then make sure that you're focusing on day trade indicators. If you're focusing on something as a swing trade, then maybe you might want to wait a little bit more for a sell-off for more swing trade indicators. Does that make sense? But yeah, I want to congratulate all those that were invested in FRAC and all the profits that you guys made. Absolutely killing it. Cool. HTZ finally pulled back today. This thing was killing it, and it was really frustrating. Do you guys see this pattern? This is actually really good. That's why it's so important. If you guys haven't completed that video in the course that I just uploaded about a week to a week and a half ago, it talks about time frames, and it's in the charts and studies or charts and indicators section of the course. And I talk about the different time frames and how different stocks react to different indicators within different time frames. And it's all different, right? I know that's very confusing, but the video does a good job explaining it. If you look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart, again, what's this little test? When does it normally identify there to be a good buy? So we got one individual that, okay, we got Junie Ray, bounces off the SMA. So it's not just, hey, it's at the SMA indicator, it's a good buy. It's approaching the SMA indicator. Let's wait for the confirmation, and then how do we know when it's a bounce? When it bounces at a certain point and then it starts making higher highs, when it starts breaking resistance levels. That's what would be attractive, especially because I can go a step back and see that, wow, HTZ is definitely on the overbought side. It might have a little bit more margin to sell off, right? So with that understanding, or it also can have quite a bit of margin to push up if it breaks above this, if it breaks above this SMA line, right? And that's why we have our alert set here. So let's make sure that we take that into consideration, right? If it bounces on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, great. But let's make sure that we still see this resistance that it has on this 180-day chart with this SMA indicator at that certain price point. Now on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, again, what I would like to do is for it to start making higher highs. So I'm going to set my alert. Sorry for that yawn. Congrats to all those that... Oh, I thought Drip was pushing up today. Oh, it did push up. It just sold off pretty aggressively. I had an alert on this, and it didn't go off. I had an alert for a pullback. I started seeing some value if you go on the 20-day, 1-hour analysis for this reversal pattern. I saw Drip starting to make higher highs, and it wasn't making as low lows as it was, or lower lows as it was before. But we'll have to see if it actually catches at this SMA line and if it continues this pattern, because it's been pulling back quite a bit and sometimes a little bit more aggressive than I would like. But we definitely talked about this one yesterday because we talked about Gush, and it hit that resistance during like pretty much all day yesterday at around 660, sold off trying to hold at around the SMA indicator with that very low volume, and then it pushed right back up to around 660 during extended hours. Pulled back, pushed right back up, made higher highs. It's pulling back again. So let's wait for the overall reversal once again. I'm just going to set my alerts. What the heck? Ricky, it's not the yawn we're worried about. What's that supposed to mean, Don? TMUS, showing signs of an uptrend pattern, overall SMA indicator. I think it's very easy to see what's acting as a support, right? A lot of consolidation happening right around that SMA line. Let's wait for the direction of this EMA to start pointing back up and for it to start making higher highs. Oh, sneezing. I see. All right, I'll be sure to pull back. Appreciate that, Devin. I have a new microphone. Man, you guys are making me feel all sorts of official today. All right. Let's see. So JNUG is back at sub $14. I still think that JNUG can be a good potential swing trade, just because it's actually the SMA is starting to act more as a resistance. What the heck? Is it because /GC is getting rejected? Is it getting rejected? It is making lower lows. Oh shoot, I didn't see this. And lower highs. Let's set this alert. I did not know that. Wow, it might be getting rejected. Diaz has pulled back. Yep, definitely selling off. And again, the SMA line, that was something that I was going to talk about. If you could see that it got rejected during pre-market hours with this SMA line, and also the SMA line acted as a resistance as of yesterday. So something that, but I didn't even think that we were that close to the SMA line for it to get rejected. Yeah. Worse is that, I mean, it's, again, I have to be, the thing with this is like, oh no, it's selling off right now. And if I look at my dollar value that I'm down, I'm like, $151, $160, right? That might sound very like, oh my God, like what am I doing wrong? First of all, it's not even the dollar value that is the worry. It's, again, if my average is 22.17 and it's, with what it is that I'm down right now, I'm only down 0.5%, which is not against my rules at all, right? And also understanding, again, this is where the patience and where the confidence comes. And this is something that you will develop after time goes on, right? Looking at the overall pattern for something like DGAS, is there a break of pattern? Should I be worried that I'm investing in something that is no longer relevant? Looking at the pattern that I first saw value in, from $22 to $24. It's pulling back intraday, but it's still above $22. It's still above $21.50. And that's the deciding factor for me. As of right now, it's still showing signs of an uptrend. It's still showing signs of not an uptrend pattern, but of overall, it's the previous patterns are still relevant. Wow, FRAC is going up. So that's the biggest thing is like, if you are comfortable with what it is that you are investing in, if you understand the pattern, right, then pullbacks do suck, and I get that, but it's, and this is, I made a video in the course about this. It might be your position size. It might be that you might need to dedicate a little bit more time to understand patterns and then also to build that confidence. Because if your position size is too large, and let's say some of you that are just getting started, if you guys saw that you were down $54, $60, you're like, oh my God, I need to cut losses. It's selling off. It's not going up. It's not going up. I need to cut losses. I need to cut losses. And then 3 seconds later, I'm only down $9. I'm only down $150, right? And again, now I'm up $6. It's like, what the heck? It's going to be this swing of emotions, right? Now I have $36. Now I have money for Canes. Right? Again, but it's the understanding that forget about the dollar value, focus on the pattern, understand the pattern, and don't take too large of a position that if there is a pullback and the pattern is still relevant, that you will be devastated and on edge to cut losses. Make sense? Because pullbacks are not break of patterns. If you understand the pattern, which that you first saw value in, so for me, it's $21.50 as an overall support, and then around $23 to $24 as the overall resistance. Is there a break of pattern? No. So should I cut losses? It just wouldn't make much sense. But if it starts to really sell off, and then, for all of a sudden, natural gas, the future itself, pushes above that resistance and starts making higher highs, U-gas starts making higher highs, and then D-gas all of a sudden breaks below 21.50, that's a break of pattern, and it would make sense on why to cut losses there. But just because it's sold off a little bit and it's back at the support, does that mean that there's a break of pattern? No, it just means that maybe I got in a little bit too early. And is that safe to say? 100%. I said it before I did, and I'm realizing it. And it's the realization that I think a lot of people struggle with, but that is why you guys have me. That's why the Learn Plan Profit group is here, just to remind you. So let's focus on understanding the patterns that we're investing in. Let's focus on not taking too large of a position to make the most money, but focus on building that confidence, growing our accounts based on, on a consistent, if I don't know if you guys watched that video that I uploaded yesterday. I'm going to be uploading one that's a little bit more advanced for the Learn Plan Profit group, but it talked about the different stages that I think traders should consider. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, about how to consistently grow your account. First, aiming for 2 to 3%, then aiming 3 to 5%, then from 7 to 10, and then 10% plus, right? But again, let's focus on patterns. Let's focus and make sure that we understand the pattern that we first see value in, that we're getting a good deal, and that we don't let our emotions come into play. So, when does Keynes open? I think that's the question of the day. Out of every question, even, when do I buy a U-gas? When do I buy a D-gas? That is the question of the day. When does Keynes open? Just kidding. Keynes opens, I think, at like 10, if I'm not mistaken. I actually don't know. I've gone there for breakfast, like 9, 10 a.m., something like that. It's pretty bad. Learn and study every day. Are you worried about you guys going up on Thursday? Definitely something to consider, 100%. Do I think that D-gas can push up before then? Definitely. So we're seeing signs of a rejection at around the middle VWAP. So made 6% on my first 2 day trades after taking the LPP course. Thank you, Ricky. Super happy to hear that. But it must be something that you're implementing because, again, it's still you taking action, and I do want to congratulate you on all your hard work on that. So what is your opinion on TMUS? It went, yeah. So we already talked about TMUS. I talked about it very briefly in the pattern that I saw. It's still, the direction of the EMA as of right now intraday, if you're trying to focus on a day trade, it wouldn't make much sense to invest in it right now. I think it's still like trying to decide which direction it's going to be going. It is at the SMA line, which has acted as a, HTZ just broke above 1792. So congrats to all those that are in that. But yeah, do you see the direction of this EMA line? It's kind of horizontal. It's not pointing up. I need it to start pointing up if I want to consider an entry. And first of all, also, it doesn't have much more margin as of right now, maybe intraday. Yeah, it's at a resistance. I wouldn't even consider it as a good potential buy. Maybe you're talking about the potential merger, right? And that can act as a catalyst for demand, right? And that can shoot it up. I don't trade based on that. So based on technicals, it would make more sense on why it would get rejected at this price point. It's going to be consolidating here for a long time before I even think it starts to push up if there is no huge catalyst. If not, then I think it can get rejected at around this SMA line as well. Come on, Alexandra, you can't ask that. What's good for a day trade? I can't tell you what to trade. But yeah, then we had someone call out LAB. Yeah, DVAC. I did get a. Holy moly. FRAC. I am jealous. Definitely shooting up. All right. So DVAX showing so pretty low volume, right? Starting to show signs of a potential uptrend pattern, but again, do you guys see this pattern making lower highs? Not something that I find very attractive. Because of that, it definitely it's showing more signs of it being on the overbought side. 20-day analysis, you could see it trying to push up, but again, still making lower highs as well. I think it's something that we'll have to follow up with. I don't see it to be a good buy right now, especially as the EMA line is pointing down. It's trying to catch a support at around the middle VWAP, but not showing any signs of a higher highs or break of above the EMA or the EMA pointing up. So I would hold off on it as of right now. Right, Ginny, me and you both. Are you worried about your metabolism slowing down as you get older? I'm sure it's going to happen, but I'm exercising a little bit more, and I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier. I eat Chipotle a little bit more now, so instead of Cane's. I know that might not be super healthy, but it's much better than Cane's, I could assume. VZ selling off. Yeah, if I do remember, wow. If I remember correctly, oh wow, that's a pretty solid sell-off. Holy moly. And we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar company. Imagine losing 2.5% of your net worth, right? Or, yeah, pretty much for this company. And the past couple of days, it's sold off pretty aggressively. Almost 4%. Wow. Definitely. I think this is a great one to, yeah, Michael. Let's get ripped at the gas station. You guys are horrible. I'm going to add this one to pending reversals. I like this call out. Thank you again for alerting me on VZ. This is what it's all about. This one's, as of right now, the best call out that it's not a good buy at all right now. That's not what I'm saying. It's that it's been something that has been brought to my attention that I wasn't already aware of. That is C-valued. I like it. Okay. AT&T is more of a descending pattern though, so I don't find this one to be as attractive. Ricky doesn't sleep. I do sleep a couple hours a day. Why do I think that TAL is selling off? I don't know. Look at, holy moly. There has to be an alert, a news alert. So TAL shows signs of typical China fraud, too good to be true. So again, guys, like these aren't some things that like are very difficult to like come across. If there's something selling off and it's something this dramatic, it's news or it's manipulation. And obviously we could just verify that it's news. Invest time. If you see that there's something that's happening, invest time, and it looks like it's selling off and it's not stopping. So it looks like they committed some form of fraud, right? Yeah. So I like the call out. Thank you again for bringing it to my attention. But it's definitely something that like you could have identified. It's not very difficult to identify. And I hope that's not too much to ask, right? It is around the SMA indicator. Because of this very aggressive sell-off, that's a pretty solid statement of someone committing fraud, right? Especially as a business. This might be pretty detrimental to TAL. We'll just have to follow up with it. WMB. Thank you for using the call out format. I really do appreciate it. SMA line kind of showing signs of a descending pattern, trying to catch a support right here. It's starting to kind of show signs of it like flatlining, which is something that something that I like. let's wait for it to make higher highs. I wonder if it can do that. I would find that to be attractive, or to see if it bounces at around $26, just because that's where it caught its previous support. So we'll go like this, and then we'll extend it. Boom. Yeah, so set alert there. We'll set an alert here if it approaches the support, and go from there. Sweet. Let's see. Yeah, Tesla, I see it to be very overextended. You can see based on previous patterns, it does not look like it's a good deal. And I think that's very easy for a lot of people to identify. BZUN, that's actually one that Justin will not shut up about. Yeah, but it's definitely, I think, way on the overbought side, way overextended. It's, I think, just a matter of time for it to sell off. And I just don't find it to be a good deal. I like the ascending uptrend pattern. That's great. I just don't invest in those for this long of a time. It just would make sense on why it would sell off. It's definitely not a good deal. So, yeah. Yes, 100%, Jack, and that's an amazing observation that you made. So if DGAS continues to decline until market closes, but support hasn't been broken, does the risk level seem to rise? Because this can drastically drop after market hours. Does this affect your idea of holding? 100%. And the thing that he's saying is, if we look a little bit closer on the 1 day, 1 minute chart, it's continuing to make lower lows, and not lower lows, but it's making like almost lower highs. It's getting rejected. What I think can happen, and this is kind of like why I'm trying to be so patient, is that I'm letting it get time for it to consolidate at around $22, so $22.20, and then for the SMA line to catch up with it. And I think at that point, when it catches up with it, it's just a matter of time. Then it'll push above the SMA line, and then it'll start to show signs of an uptrend pattern. That's kind of what I'm seeing if it does. If I really see it start to descend, and knowing that the natural gas report is tomorrow, and knowing how much it is that I have invested in it, I'll probably sell, if not my entire position, I'll probably sell more than 50% of it, just because I do find it to be a good deal, and I do see potential for the swing trade pattern in it, but the dollar value that I have invested in it is a little high right now. So great call out. So Jack, let's see, do we have Jack as, let's see, yeah, because Jack, where are you in the main chat? Oh, boom. All right. And for all those that are always asking, we have quite a bit of people that always ask, hey, Ricky, what is it that we need to do to become an experienced trader within the Learn Plan Profit Group? All I like to see is activity. I like to see that you understand what it is that you're investing in and talking about, but most importantly, activity and what's it called? And like assisting other members. And Jack has been doing an amazing job, not just in the Learn Plan Profit Group, but mainly TechBit Solutions. And he's been really acting as a huge catalyst for a lot of people's success because he's invested time in assisting these individuals. So again, you could be the best trader, but if you don't know how to, elaborate and explain yourself, then you won't be very effective as an experienced trader, right? Because you don't know how to explain yourself. You're just trading. And we don't want people just to mimic others and their trades. We want people to explain what it is that they're doing to assist other members. And that's the whole point of being an experienced trader. So you don't need to direct message us. We're definitely keeping an eye out. If you feel like you are up to par, you can send me or Justin a direct message and be like, hey, just keep an eye out for me. As an experienced trader, I'm helping a lot of our members out. That's it. We usually keep an eye out on you for about a week, and then we can go from there. So, wow, this thing is selling off. Why did this thing get rejected? Did you delete it? Not too sure what happened there. All right. PE. All right. Yeah, Devon, I do apologize for that. I did see that you were calling that out for quite a bit, and I do apologize for not paying a little bit closer attention. So, great call out. I do like the ascending uptrend pattern. It definitely looks like now there is a break of pattern with this sell-off that it had, right? And then it broke right above it, showing signs of a reversal pattern. I would just watch out for this SMA line that might act as a little bit of a resistance just based on previous patterns. I don't think it would be too detrimental. So what I would say is, what's it called? For a good buy, I see it to be a good buy right around the EMA indicator on the 180-day chart, so around 2810, 2820. And then, oh wow, TAL is recovering. That's actually really impressive. I didn't think it was going to do that. But yeah, and then for it to start making higher highs. So I would set up these series of alerts as it continues to make higher highs and try to still focus on getting at a good entry. But yeah, great call out and great reminder to all of us. Yeah, so TAL looks like it's trying to recover. Wow, that's pretty aggressive. I would be very careful with this one. I still think that there's a lot of hype behind it. Let's see. FRAC, yeah, not breaking its pattern there. No, yeah, that was, I see. No, I did see your call out. It was just, I think I was talking about something else, so I do apologize for that. Still learning, so calling out ticker symbol ON. Let's check this out. All right, so ticker symbol ON is definitely trending down intraday, so it wouldn't be the best buy as of right now. And it is trending down, on the 180-day chart. So trying to identify this, like how could I identify this as a good potential, buy? Only thing that I can go off of right now is where it might bounce at, might be around $25. And I would need it to break above this, EMA, and it did break above it, but then it pulled right back. I think I would like to see a little bit more consolidation at around 25.50 for the direction of this EMA line to be pointing up, right? That's what I would like to see. And then with that being said, also taking into consideration the opportunity cost, resistance normally being at around $26 to maybe a highs of $26.40. So with that understanding, calculating the potential for profit that it has to offer, is not that much, right? It's about 2 to 3%. If you see value in it, great. If you don't, and you don't think that opportunity cost is worth it, might be something to hold off of. Yeah, a lot of you guys are calling FRAC. Trust me, I am watching it. I am 100% watching it. I just, it's definitely pushing up very aggressively, and I think that's great. I just think that it's a little bit more on the overbought side. I would like to wait for a little bit of a sell-off, consolidate, and then reverse back up. I want to focus on good buys, good deals, and it just wouldn't make sense for a good deal right now. Because if I buy right here and then it just sells off, then I just bought at the very peak, and that's much more important to me. What's going on, Jacobus? Okay, so look at your level 2, and the reason that I say that is if you have a 20-minute delay, your overall purchase price is not going to be going off of what you're currently trying to buy at with paper trading, but it's going to go off of what the real account is right now, or what the real. So right now there's buyers at 40 and 41. So if you wanted to get filled right now, it would be buying at 41. But again, is that the best deal? Even with paper trading, even if it's not with real money. Yeah, I think they just answered your question. Oh, you got it. Yeah, so just go to messages, and then you can see all your alerts right here that you've set and when you've purchased and all that good stuff. All right, guys. Yeah, it would say you see how mine says real time? It would say 20-minute delay or something like that if you have a 20-minute delay. Yeah, so like the delay is making it worse. Yeah, so there's nothing that I can do. You can call TD Ameritrade, and if you're within the United States, I've heard that even with paper trading, that you've had people them able to subscribe you to real-time quotes, so you can get in contact with them. Just go ahead and call them up and see if they can set that up for you. So I agree. So again, if this is an issue, just take care of it. Just call them and make it happen. There's nothing that I can do. There's nothing that we can do. It's just doing it. So yeah, you don't need to call them. There's actually a video that if you go on YouTube that I've made, but I'm just saying like calling would just be a lot easier for a lot of other people. So if I just go to YouTube. And go to Ricky real-time quotes. Again, guys, the power of YouTube, right? Just YouTube or Google. How to get real-time quotes for free. It shows you step by step. Yeah, I mean, I have 2 videos. I'm pretty sure both of them are kind of the same thing. So I would just check one of these 2 out. I'm not too sure which one it was. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna close out the live stream in just 1 minute. So no more callouts, please. So I'm just gonna do a recap on what it is that I'm watching, and that is it. So. Ricky, what do you think about the daily SMA, when the daily SMA is approaching, what? I don't know. That question doesn't make sense to me. We've already broken down LABU, bud. All right. I'm just going to get down to like, and I'm sorry that, like, what's it called? That I'm being a little short. It's just like, we've already covered a bunch of these questions, and the biggest thing, like very quick, just because I know sometimes you guys direct message me, my biggest pet peeves for when people reach out to me, again, I'm just sharing this with you guys because I want to be as honest as possible, is I get over 500 to almost 1,000 messages that I respond to every single day, and it is so upsetting, especially for those that I know that are part of the Learn Plan Profit course, that ask me, hey Ricky, when is it a good time to buy? When is it a good time to sell? Ricky, are you still holding your position? Like, don't care about like my position. That's one of the most upsetting parts, because if you're caring about my position, then you obviously do not understand why you took that position, and that is the worst thing. That is exactly what I want to avoid. Please understand. Until you understand what is going on, you should not be investing real money. And yes, you might get lucky from time to time, but I'm just trying to be as honest with you guys as possible. Like, it is one of the most upsetting things where people are like, oh, Ricky, it continues to sell off, and, I'm still holding, and just, what would you do? It's like, don't ask me those questions. Those aren't questions that I am going to answer. I'm not here to tell you where to buy and where to sell your hard-earned money. You need to invest time to understand how to identify value, how to identify these patterns, and how to identify when something is a good deal. Because when you understand those 3 things on a consistent basis, you will be able to develop a better eye for value. And yes, it is going to take time. So that means within the first 2 weeks, you probably aren't going to be making huge amounts of money. But it's if you do this on a consistent basis and you invest the hard work and time, you will understand this. I'm just so tired of these questions of people asking me, where do I buy? Where do I sell? Hey, do you think that, are you still in DGAS? Like, are you still going to hold? Are you still going to hold? You guys are asking me in certain ways. Like, you guys think that I don't get it, that like you're asking me in certain ways that are like, yeah, you're asking me in certain ways that are just like trying to not ask me directly, hey, should I still hold DGAS? Because you're asking me, hey, are you still holding DGAS, or are you going to cover soon? Like, tell me. And it's just like, I'm just done with those questions. Like, and it honestly hurts me so, like, Like it sounds like dumb, right? But it honestly like hurts me so much to not respond to your guys' questions when you guys ask me those, because I want to help you guys out so bad. But if you're not someone that can help yourself, then I don't think that I'd be able to do much for you, right? And I'm just tired of it. So it's not even the FAQ link or anything like that. It's because we have so many new traders, and it's just a habit. People just always want to ask. There's the Google search engine. There's the YouTube search engine. There's the course that a majority of people have not completed. Work on that, and again, it takes time. And if you actually have questions that like of breaking down a stock, great. I am here to break it down with you, 100%. But yeah, it's a lot of people aren't even there. They're just asking questions about what to invest in and stuff like that. And that's like, it might be okay with every other person that tries to sell a course because it might be easier for them. You guys have to understand, for me, it's for the money that I charged for the course, right? And to be a part of the group chat, it's like there is no other individual. I don't even know if there's any other individual that trades with their course members live, right? Every single day. It's not, and yet alone at the rate of $300 or less, right? For whatever the discounted price is. And I'm not trying to like underestimate that, but I feel like sometimes people feel that I owe them a call out or for them to make their money back because of a call out that I do. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to work with you guys, and I want to work with you guys, but like I want to work with you, not like tell you, right? Do you get the difference? And we have these conversations about once a month, and I really like them. That like it's just a friendly reminder that like I'm not here to spoon feed anyone. Like I don't care if you guys were to pay me $10,000, $50,000. I promise you, I will never tell you where to buy and where to sell. And it's just, yeah. No, that's the easiest way that I can put it. You guys have to understand, like I have access to over, just imagine I reach over 1 million people within my social media accounts every single month. I get reached out to every single month. People asking me to if I can invest hundreds of thousands of dollars for them, and the answer is always no. So again, I need you guys to know this. Like I 100% appreciate the time and both the money that you guys have invested in me, because I am using that to create the applications and develop the series of different platforms that we're working on. And it's the giving back that I love to do. I trade every single day, so I love working with you guys every single day. It's one of my biggest passions. Like I enjoy this more than traveling. People always ask me, do you enjoy traveling? No, I love waking up in the morning and working with my private group because I love seeing the success that you guys experience. That's one of my biggest passions. But I need you guys to, for those that, and it's not like I'm not here to bring anyone down, but it's just a friendly reminder like that it takes time, guys, and it's going to take time to like build an account and to grow your account. And that's what it's all about. And I explained that multiple times. I explained that in my YouTube videos. I'm very open about that. And I'm here to work with you. I'm not here to tell you. So, yeah. So I would watch out, Bradley, with that stop loss. Very close to the overall support. Keep it if you still like it. And again, this is what I'm here for. When I see someone that puts a stop loss at a certain price point that I know that I've done that before and it gets triggered just because it might pull back right below, I would be very careful about that stop loss. If you want to set it at that price because that's your max dollar loss, then keep it then. But I'm just saying, if it's just to like manage risk below $22, I don't think that's going to be the best. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the most effective way to set your stop loss. Yeah, so very quick recap. We just had I don't know about you guys, but I truly love having these like kind of more like personal conversations with you guys. I mean, I'm having it with my computer. That's so weird. Actually thinking about it, there's how many of you guys live with me right now? 470. So 470 of you guys are on your phone or on your computer and hearing me talk. And I'm looking at my charts and I feel like I'm talking to someone. Imagine how weird this is if like aliens, I don't know, have you guys ever thought about this? If aliens were watching us and I'm just talking to this computer for an hour every single day. uh, yeah. So let's recap. So Diaz, I am focusing on it as of right now as a day trade, but I do see swing trade potential. Why? Because of this 20-day 1 hour analysis and the margin of profit that it has to offer. It definitely is showing signs of a potential descending pattern. Looking a little bit closer to kind of like how it performed last time that it did that. It consolidated and it did go to 2185 and stuff like that. And then it started to reverse back up. So definitely something to consider. And 100%, did I get in too early? I possibly did. No question about that. And that I'm okay with that. So do I still see value in the pattern? Yes. Why? Because the pattern is still relevant. There's still no break of pattern. It's still between and above 2150, and that's what's important to me. Now with ticker symbol DRIP, I can do on the 1 day 1 minute chart. It's starting to show signs of a descending pattern, trading in between the middle and bottom VWAP. Not very attractive there. I'm going to remove it. I have my alerts set on it, so yeah. TMUS, congratulations to all those that invested in TMUS. It did bounce and again approach that resistance. I didn't think that 0.34% margin was even worth it, and I see it to be more at the sell point rather. I don't see it to be a good deal. So because of that, I think it rode out all its margin, and I'm no longer going to focus too much on it. Now, JNUG is showing signs of a potential reversal of pattern. So although it is close to and very close to that overall support that it has right around 1380, you can see that the SMA indicator is acting as a resistance, and that /GC might be getting rejected. So I have my alert set at 1305. The reason that I think that it might be getting rejected is because it's been making lower lows and lower highs as well, something that I did not identify before. Now when it comes down to HTZ, again, just my own 2 cents, I see it more at a resistance, and I do see potential for a larger pullback, especially right now. It's trading below the middle and bottom VWAP. That's a downward pattern, probably not the best buy today. So something that we'll have to wait out for. USLV, definitely more on the overbought side, still actively trending up, so congrats to all those that are still invested in that. DSLV is one that I think should be under your pending reversal. It should be under mine. Let's see. Yeah, it's right there. So I'm going to remove it from here, and it's under my pending reversal. And I have my alert set right here for when it breaks above the EMA indicator. So I think that this one can be a very good play when it starts to actively trend up. So it's definitely something that we'll have to consider later on. Now, LABD, still showing signs of a continuous downward pattern. I would focus on the inverse, which is LABU, definitely showing more signs of a consistent uptrend pattern. So, and that is here. It's definitely more on the overbought side. The thing that I do like about this is when it gets closer or near to this EMA line, it definitely does a very good job with that. So we kind of missed that opportunity. It's already approaching that resistance though. So FRAC, congrats to all those that are invested in it. I think it's starting to show more signs of consolidation, so almost more of a peak formation. So it's definitely something that we'll have to follow up with. Of course, thank you, Derek. And then Gush, showing signs of an uptrend pattern, but it's not making higher highs anymore. It's really just consolidating. So, and then UGAS is still showing signs of it being bullish. It's still trading in between the middle and top VWAP. It's approaching making almost higher highs. So definitely, I mean, I have my alert set right here, and that's just the inverse of, DGAS, obviously. So something that we'll have to follow up with, and I'll keep you guys up to date with my overall position. Wow, what the heck? Go DGAS, go. Go DGAS, go. Go DGAS, go. Watch it just shoot all the way down. Yeah, that is pretty much it. So, Ricky, what do you do? So again, this would have to be based on time frame. So I think you're asking, what do you do when the daily chart is approaching the SMA indicator? So it's showing some signs of a resistance, but on the 4-hour chart, which is the 180-day chart, started to show signs of an uptrend. That's called like somewhat. That's what I like to identify as a critical point. So when intraday it's starting to show more signs of a resistance, then that's an intraday resistance, right? So I would consider intraday probably covering profits. If I'm going in for a swing trade and I see swing trade potential, and it's still showing signs of an uptrend, then that is a different approach. So again, you have to ask yourself: are you day trading or are you swing trading and stuff like that? So something that you'll have to become a little bit more familiar with. Hold your own, people. That's Celeste. Oh my god. Do you think CSVI is a pump and dump? Well, you even asking that is pretty... I don't think it's necessarily a pump and dump. I just think that it can easily get manipulated. I don't know anything about this company, and the volume is way too low. Too low? What the heck? Yeah, I would never invest in something like this, ever. Yeah, it just wouldn't make sense. The volume is way too low. Yeah, no. All right. Yeah, I did hear about that. Do I ever use OCO orders? No, but that is a video that I'm going to be working on, talking about the OCO bracket and how is it that you can, use it within the TOS platform, because I don't have a video on that in the course already. So the sticker jumps 6% in 3 minutes. Don, stop. Do you think that AMC is overextended? All right, guys, we're going to end it here. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely at a resistance. That makes sense, right? So it would take more time for it to consolidate, and then, it can definitely become a support, but I think it's going to take time to confirm that and then continue trending up. So, yeah. All right. You guys are killing me. No, still showing signs of a downward pattern. No signs of a reversal. Doing a lot of consolidation at around $18 to $22. So there's this kind of margin. I would still wait for the break and starting to show signs of an uptrend pattern. So easy coming back. Zachary. Okay. All right, guys. I am done. I still have to go live for the TechBud Solutions group. That's a private unlisted video. And then I have to go live on YouTube. And then I have to go live on Instagram. And then I have 3 meetings today. Today's going to be fun. Man, I'm tired. Ugh. Don, I didn't sneeze today. But, yeah, Austin, have a great day. Thank you again, bud. Keep killing it. What's going on, Bradley? Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, so thank you guys again. What's going on, Jack? The frac ship has sold, and it can... Yeah, so frac looks like it's pulling back a little bit. LPP members rock. I like it. Get more sleep than die. There's no time to sleep. Just kidding. But yeah, it's my favorite pastime. Thank you. The last video that you did was fire. Appreciate that, brother. All right, guys. Thank you guys again. I want to see, you guys crack me up when these videos get dislikes. But if you guys can give the video a thumbs up, I think you guys honestly just do it to pick on me. Because never mind. There's some individuals, I'm pretty sure it's Don always disliking the video. Not gonna lie. Because Don just loves picking on me. Honestly, Don, when you direct message me on Instagram, I didn't know it was you. I had to click on your profile, but it's because I get like if you go on my Instagram and I think it's for everyone, but if you go on your direct messages, I have this thing that says, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see, but I have a bunch of direct messages, right? And then it says I have over 100 pending direct messages, and I have to click on that. And then did you see that more just popped up? It said direct message, and it's Don said something about everyone knows, when are you gonna tell everyone that your cars are rented or something like that? And that was it literally I was just oh my god, just another hater. And then I looked and it was Don, and I was like, you punk. Wait, let me see. Are you guys disliking the video? Hold up. How do I check it? I don't know how to check my own video. Oh my goodness. No, you guys have to like it. You guys have to like it. Oh my god, it just shut up. Horrible people. Horrible, horrible people. Oh my goodness. Oh. Where are we? Oh my goodness. 30. All right, I'm done. You guys are horrible. But thank you guys again so much. Again, continue having fun with what it is that we do. Because if you're not having fun and enjoying what it is that you're doing every single day, especially because it is a lot of hard work, right? And that monetary aspect of like just confirmation isn't always there in the very beginning. So we try to have fun with it. Hope that's okay with all of you guys. And I hope that you guys all have an amazing and beautiful rest of your day. Make someone smile today. And I'm actually going to start this new thing. I think I can actually do it today. We'll see if I have enough time. But yeah, it looks like the dislikes are a little bit overextended. We might be seeing a pullback in just a little bit. Let's see if we can see a pullback to 0 dislikes and 200 likes or something like that. I don't know. Whatever you guys want. But yeah, guys, thank you guys again for your time. Hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your day. And the like to dislike ratio is still pretty solid, so I would still invest in it. But that's just me. Take it easy, team.